Hello, let's do some stuff again here. Today it's 2012 and first tournament, like every year for Magnus, it's Vi kan se. Vi kan se. 2012, as we can see here, Aronian won the tournament and Magnus, Rajabov and Karana got second. It's a good tournament both for Aronian and for Magnus. 2012 is when Gelfand played the World Championship match and lost against Anand. Magnus will be dominating the chess world now for until today basically. But for some years now, the second highest rated player will be Aronian. He's having some good years now, and if Magnus wasn't so good, then Aronian would have good chances to get maybe become world champion against Anand. But Aronian never succeeded in the candidate tournaments. He never got to a world championship match, and now he's too old for it because he's over 40 now. So here Aronian had a few good years here where he was rated as number 2, and often he had over 2800. Then he did something that was a little bit stupid. It was maybe in 2016 maybe. He decided to switch from d4 to e4, and he was like a super strong player at 1d4 and had probably the best preparation of the 1d4 of every player. So it's not only that you need to learn extremely a lot of theory to also play e4, but it's also different kind of positions that you have to learn, and he didn't manage that, so he lost probably 100 points probably because of that, and now he's no longer a player that can play candidate tournaments, but also because he's a bit too old now. But now until maybe 2016, Aronian is the second best player after Carlsen, even if maybe Aronian and Anand did very good in the World Championship matches and in the candidate tournament. So, but if we just look at regular tournaments, Aronian did better than Anand. And then after that, the new kids here like Caruana, Karjakin, and those that are the same age as Magnus, Giri for example, they have started to and Nakamura, they have started to get like maybe after 5 years they have surpassed Aronian as the main contenders for the World Championship title against Carlsen. So that's a little bit what we have to look forward to. So I've decided to start the game here against Aronian, Carlsen Aronian, and Aronian is playing the Queen's Gambit declined. It was probably one of the most played openings back here, and Magnus is again doing the exchange or variation. And here Aronian plays some line here. Maybe let's also get some analysis. Maybe bishop d3 also looked kinda good, but the computer doesn't like it. The computer prefers knights. It's the same. I think probably a little bit more logical to play bishop d3 here, especially as we can see that Carlsen plays it next move anyway. Let's just get some analysis help here. But I guess Magnus, we saw a game where Magnus castled long here and started to move the pawns here on the king side, and my guess is that if, let's say, he would castle, then Magnus would go on with g4 and castling long. So Aronian doesn't do that. He does h5, and obviously it's against g4. And then Magnus decides to trade the bishop anyway. So I guess you can say that this is a bit of a a weakness here. There are some squares. For example, the g5 square is weak now. So I guess that's Magnus' idea, that Aronian has weakened the g5. And here, as always in this structure, that white likes this structure with the knight, so he can use the f pawn either to play e4 or to play g4. That's like key to fight for an advantage. This other plan, knight f3 and a minority attack here, it's just experience has shown that this is not a serious try for advantage against a 2700 Grandmaster. So Magnus is preparing to expand in the center, and Aronian is trying to create counterplay. One thing that you could do after f3 sometimes is this one and play an Isolani, but now the computer doesn't like that move. He doesn't like that one either so much. But sometimes this one to get an Isolani, like play the Isolani structure here. When white has weakened his kingside here with f3, this is quite a fine position for black, I think. But yeah, looks like it's very strong moves like this one, for example. So let's see what happened. And here taking on e4 is dubious. Better was b4, forcing knight a4. And I guess it's because this is a bit out of place, and looks like the computer wants to start moving on the king side here with h4 and knight h5. That looks quite good, because yeah, this white structure, it has weakened this square a little bit. It's safely protected now, but maybe in the future, after if black manage to trade the bishops, for example, and put his queen on g5, then it would be nice counterplay here for black. So what he took instead, I'm not a fan of that move because it opens the f file and it gives up this one. I'm not such a fan. I understand that it threatens to take here, but then just b4 was just right way to do. But he has planned this rerouting of the knight here, because he can't take because of this, of course. But yeah, it looks good to put the knight here, but it doesn't do so much. So playing on the king side maybe looked a little bit better, but he's soon starting to play on the king side anyway. And here it's interesting that Magnus go back to b1. Looked, at least to me, it looks more logical to go here to the rim. Yeah. And now Magnus Aronian moves this knight and prepares maybe to trade the bishops here, is my guess. He goes here instead. Looked a bit better to go here, as I see it. Okay, so this one is recommended. Okay, so the computer likes white, but something like this, try to trade queens, to me looks a bit more logical than what Aronian is doing here. So but it's okay, it's not so bad to have the bishop here. It's classical place for the bishop. And computer preferred this one that Aronian did. Okay, here this is an accuracy, because yeah, white plays e5 and it might play e5 and then it's hard to get out this bishop knight maybe. So he likes to do this one, then a4. I know it doesn't look so much better than the game. But I guess the idea is that e5 would have been strong here because yeah, you kinda want, if e5 you want to go here to the center. So that's why you need to do this one. So instead of this, White could have gotten some advantage here, and I guess it's just hard to. Yeah, there is, even if you go here, there is no more squares to go because everything is protected. So this e5 looks strong here. It locks in both of these pieces. The question is, of course, if f6 is something. What the computer says here. And if take. Yeah, White is in control, or still these pieces are big problems for black. But Magnus didn't see that one. It's also a little bit weird because this defense here, but of course, yeah, he lost that pawn for nothing, it looks like. But still, the computer thinks this is quite fine, and the reason that it is fine is because of this tactical shot. Something like this. Try to trade like this. And the computer always want to do e5 to keep these ones out. Okay, it's still possible to reroute the knight like this. I guess that this is some kind of trap here. Knight c6 takes and takes. That seems to be a trap. So black has to do something against it. And he went here, but that allows the trap, so he needs to do something else, like here. Okay, so he missed that one. That's little bit weak of Aronian. Like even I saw that for like, for this 1 second that takes here and takes here is the threat. So that's a little bit weak and uncareful of Aronian. Aronian used to be really, I think his strength is the opening preparation, and also he's quite good at tactics. So that him missing such a basic pawn loss like this it's unusual for him. Maybe he thought he could take here, but yeah, it's the knight is defended. And then what's, yeah, maybe he missed this. He thought maybe that he could play like this, but there is this rook is hanging in the end. So it might have been that he missed it. That's all this tactical shot here, and now this here. That's, and yeah, White's winning exchange up. So, but he saw it now probably. That's why he did rook c2 instead. Try to get counterplay. And now apparently rook f2 was better than king h1. Why is that better? Okay, you need to cover here so you can take like this. Now this the bishop is enough protected, because I guess now, okay, if it takes, then you can do this one apparently. so rook b2 was best. I guess the point is that if knight here, then you can take this pawn, and there is not yeah, now there is some thing here. Apparently this one is the only one. Let's see how this line ends. Have to take here. This looks winning for white with these two pawns. So even rook b2 didn't save him. But yeah, this okay, he wants to defend here, but yeah, Magnus being alert here, and he sees that he can do this one. I guess if he takes, that he can do. He can win an important pawn here, or actually 2 pawns. Yeah, he can win 2 pawns here. Okay, so let's see what happened. Aronian decided to do queen a8. Okay, and it was better now. He took on f7, but this one looks like it wins a piece, or what? No, it wins the exchange. It wins the exchange. Okay. Yeah, I guess the d pawn is it's a winning position for white, but there is some counterplay for black maybe, but so maybe Magnus thought this was even better. Okay, he had to go here. Because of this threat here apparently. So let's see what would happen. Trading queens. It takes with the knight. Okay, so how is the material here? It's 3 pawns up for white, but black has some counterplay. But yeah, this looks it's black can fight on, but white should be winning here. But now after this one, then he can take with the king apparently. Now he should actually have taken with the knight anyway. I see. Yeah, I guess because this if he takes with a knight, he doesn't have to get into this pin here. Is just relatively annoying here. Okay, so Magnus finds an it's because this one is here. Look at this. It's because if the king would have been on g7, then this tactic wouldn't work. Look at it here. Look here. Take. That's an awesome tactic actually. Check. And if he does like this, it's mating 1. That's an awesome mate. So he has to give up the knight to not get mated. And then here, and it cannot defend the bishop. So good technique to move here. So he has to move, and then it takes here. Okay, so computer wants to do this, so he can't win this rook. So let's see what Magnus did here. Okay, but he can't do it anyway. Okay, there is some kind of I don't see it. But maybe there is some kind of a problem here for the black king. I don't really see it. But I can imagine knight here and it can't escape. I don't really see it. I don't see it. Let's see what computers say. Okay, it just want to do like this and take the pawn and queen the b pawn, I guess. So Aronian tried this one, was best try. Magnus played here. Okay, so king d4 were more accurate to take the pawn with the king, I guess. Because he missed. Aronian might have missed this pin here. Okay, so the computer thinks this is actually a draw now, so it was a very big blunder for Magnus to allow this pin here. Yeah, the problem for white is that if he gives a check here, then it's this pawn is, he loses one of his pawn and then he only have one pawn left here. Yeah, and it's a draw. Okay, and if you check, yeah, it's good chances for draw here. So let's see what happened here. Played that one. That was a bad move. Yeah, because the pawn is too fast now. So it was everything about getting that pawn faster. Now white's pawn is too quick here. Okay, why did he resign here? Okay, it's because this setup stops the pawn. That's a good, excellent setup here. He can never advance the pawn because he will win the pawn and is winning. Okay, so the king is, yeah, it can't do anything. It's perfect setup here. Every square is covered by these two pieces. That's an interesting block here. Okay. So let's see. So what if you go here? Yeah, then you can't support the pawn. I see. And if you go here, it's the same. Yeah. Yeah, you can just win it. Okay, so that's an interesting setup here. Okay, nice game by Magnus, and Aronian had chances there to draw in the end, despite Magnus clearly winning in the mid game. So, as we can see here, like there was one chance to draw here when Magnus was winning like out of the opening, but here Aronian had that chance that I showed you. Okay, next time it's another battle that's. I chose those players that has most fun games, and player like Topalov and Aronian, they used to play very interesting, sharp games against Magnus. Okay, see you then.